Hi, I'm Mike Basant, Grants Manager for Commercial District Revitalization at DCR. This is the second of our video series offering information on the program. Hopefully you had a chance to go ahead and watch the first video, which gave an overview of the program. And the purpose of this second video is to introduce you to our pre-screening tool, give you a sense of its purpose, walk you through registration and submission, and then let you know what you can expect if you choose to complete the pre-screening tool. A little bit about the intent behind the tool itself. It is not a grant application. It is an opportunity for entities that are interested in potentially submitting an application to the program to go ahead and engage the team with some of their project ideas before the application itself opens. So it's optional, it's encouraged, it's an opportunity to present your ideas and get feedback and helpful information from the team that's going to make a stronger project once the application opens. But it's not the application itself. It's not going to be scored or reviewed, and it's not required. Once the application opens, entities will be perfectly free to submit applications whether or not they've submitted the pre-screen. Next, I will help you figure out where you can find our pre-screening tool and start to walk you through registering for it and filling it out and submitting it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is navigate to our Commerce Recovery website. Once you're on the Commerce Recovery website, you can find a list of Renew NC programs at the top. From this drop-down screen, you'll want to select Commercial District Revitalization. You'll land on our page. There'll be a whole lot of other information here that's going to be pretty helpful if you're considering an application. But if you're here for pre-screening, go ahead and scroll down and click on Start a Pre-Screen, which is going to take you to our portal page. If it's your first time at the portal for Renew NC, you're going to want to go ahead and select Sign Up Now. It'll help you create an account. I've already done that, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in so I can show you the pre-screening tool. Great, so here we are on our grant portal, and you can see as you look down the page what is open and available, including our commercial district pre-screening tool. So I'm going to select Start Application here to start the pre-screening tool. You'll want to put in your project name. I'm just creating a test case. And you'll start to navigate through the pre-screening tool. The very first page is going to give you an overview. It's going to repeat some of the same information that I just gave you, just helping to make clear what this tool is for, and then it's not the application itself. You'll have a chance to elect to participate or not participate in the pre-screening process. For today's test purposes, we're going to choose to participate. If you were to choose that second drop-down, the process would end, but you would still have an account created, and we would let you know once the application itself opens. So the first page is applicant information. You are going to let us know some basics about the entity itself that's applying. What's the legal name? Are you a local government or a nonprofit entity? Your mailing address, your FEIN, whether or not you have a SAM.gov registration, and then we're going to want to make sure that we get information about the organization's authorized officer and primary signatory. And so you'll have a chance to enter in a name there and upload a form. Then we'll move on to the project information. This is probably the most important part of the pre-screening process. It's where you get a chance to give us information about a project that you're considering. Again, I would stress here that this is not a grant application. Nobody will be reviewing this or scoring this. What we want to do is learn about your idea so that we can engage and help you strengthen and align those. So if you're filling this out and some of your information is incomplete, or you're thinking about taking extra time to perfect the wording, we just want to stress that, the sooner that we can engage with you, the sooner that we can help you align and strengthen your project. This doesn't have to be perfect. This is not a grant application. But so you'll have a chance to give us some really key information about your project, where it's located, some environmental concerns, a project description. This is probably the most important individual question here. Just let us know what it is that you plan to do. Then you can tell us about the overall cost of the project itself, how much in CDBG-DR funds you expect to request. We're going to ask you some questions about duplication and some questions about job creation. And then here we'll ask if you expect to partner with any TA providing partners like councils of governments, the League of Municipalities, the Association of County Commissioners, or School of Government. And this is going to help us because one of the things that we want to achieve with the pre-screening tool is to make sure we're appropriate, that we can connect you with a partner that's there to provide technical assistance and support. So if you've already got a partner, we want to make sure that we don't connect you to somebody else, that we work all together. But if getting connected to a technical assistance partner is something that you haven't done yet and that might potentially make your project stronger, this is an opportunity for us to know that you don't have one yet, and we'll make that connection. The next two and final two parts of the pre-screening tool walk us through some other potential budget leverage sources and help us make sure that we're giving you good guidance with respect to duplication of benefits. So you're going to go through a series of questions that ask you whether you've received disaster-related assistance from other funding sources. And that will help us make sure that the scope of your project here doesn't duplicate benefits from other funding sources. So if you click yes, you'll get a chance to enter the amount that you've been approved for and the amount that you've received. Depending on the type of funding, you may have some additional questions like your FEMA registration number. So there'll be some more questions about other funding entities. We'll just go ahead and click through that. And then one final page that will ask you about property insurance, other state funding, and then there's an open field here. So if we haven't asked about a funding source for this potential project or the impacted area, you can enter any funding source that we haven't asked about. And so once you click yes and fill it out, if you have several funding sources, you can add as many as you need to right here. So that's the last question in the pre-screening application. And then once you've completed all those, you go to the very last screen where you'll have an opportunity to submit. The pre-screen is currently open as of the recording of this video on February 11th. It will not close when the application opens. The pre-screening will remain open through the application period. So even if you're watching this video and considering a pre-screen, once the application is almost open or close to open, know that you're still able to use the pre-screen as a tool to strengthen your project. Once you submit it, you can expect some follow-up engagement from our team. We're going to look at the information that you gave us, and we're going to engage across a few key areas to help align and strengthen that project. I've mentioned them before, but really we're looking at organizational capacity to manage the funding and take on the project, duplication of benefits, and project readiness. We're going to make a referral if you're interested and need a partner to provide technical assistance from the list of agencies that are ready to provide that I mentioned earlier. And then I think one key thing to note is that if you fill out the pre-screen, there's going to be some key fields that will pre-populate once you submit an application, so you won't have to enter the information twice. That said, you do have to take the formal step of submitting an application to have that information pre-populated. It won't happen automatically. So thanks for watching this video, and let us know if you have any questions.